What if I told you that there's an ancient book older than much of the Bible's explosive, so revealing that religious leaders decided it had to be banned, hidden for centuries, forbidden, buried in the shadows of history? This book claims angels walked among men, that they broke divine laws, and that humanity paid a horrifying price. That book is the Book of Enoch. And its pages don't just whisper forbidden knowledge, they scream it. From secret angelic rebellions to terrifying ancient prophecies, this book could rewrite everything you thought you knew about human origins, the universe, and even the very nature of God himself. So why was it removed? Who wanted it erased? And what truths were they so desperate to hide? Keep watching, because once you hear what's inside the Book of Enoch, you'll never look at religion, history, or even yourself the same way again. Let's begin. The Book of Enoch wasn't discovered in some hidden temple. It was found in the dusty highlands of Ethiopia, written in Ge'ez, an ancient Semitic language. But what shook historians wasn't just its age, it was its content. It starts with Enoch, great-grandfather of Noah, but the Enoch in this book isn't just a holy man. He's a cosmic traveler, a chosen human plucked from earth by angelic beings and shown the machinery of heaven itself. They took him through portals in the sky, into multiple heavens, 7 to be exact. Each layer more terrifying, more divine. Then the last. In one, he saw monstrous angels chained in darkness. In another, he witnessed the tree of life, and at the very top, Enoch claims to have stood before the very face of the Almighty, not as a visitor, but as one given authority. Let that sink in. A human being granted dominion to speak on behalf of heaven. But it gets darker. One of the most shocking parts of the Book of Enoch is the story of the Watcher's angels who descended to earth, not to help humanity, but to corrupt it. These were powerful divine beings who broke cosmic law. They lusted after human women. They took them as wives, and from this unnatural union were born monstrous offspring, the Nephilim, gigantic, savage, unstoppable beings of such strength and violence that they almost wiped out humanity itself. And Enoch was chosen to deliver the message that the flood was coming, that God himself would purge the earth to erase what these angels had done. This isn't just mythology, this isn't fantasy, this is a detailed ancient manuscript that predates much of the Bible, and it was considered sacred by early Christians and Jews for centuries. Even the Bible references it. In Genesis 6, we read about the sons of God mating with the daughters of men. Who were these sons of God? The Book of Enoch names them, describes them, and reveals their crimes in vivid detail. Names like Semyaza and Azazel, angels turned traitors, who taught humanity war, sorcery, weaponry, makeup, enchantments, corrupting mankind with forbidden knowledge. Don't think about it. The same knowledge that would one day create empires, weapons of mass destruction, global dominance, was taught by fallen angels, according to Enoch, and the punishment. Chilling, these angels were cast into a prison beneath the earth, a dark, silent place called Dudet. Enoch saw them writhing, screaming, bound in chains until the day of judgment. Now ask yourself, why would the church erase this? Why would a book so revered by early Christians suddenly be declared heresy? The answer might be scarier than the book itself. Control. Because if humans had knowledge of divine rebellion, of ancient cosmic wars, of a class of beings more powerful than anything ever taught in Sunday school, it would shatter everything, and not just religious doctrine. Enoch also describes flat earth covered by a firmament, celestial portals through which stars and planets move, a cosmology that matches ancient Sumerian, Babylonian, and even Native American creation stories, suggesting a shared ancient knowledge that predates modern science by thousands of years. He also saw time itself, the flow of generations, the final judgment, the coming of a Messiah figure, long before Jesus ever walked the earth. Are we talking about prophecy, or something even more unexplainable, a manipulation of history itself? And it doesn't stop there. When Enoch is taken by the angels, he's told secrets that no man should ever know. The names of stars, the movements of the heavens, the true reason for the flood, the hidden sins of angels, and most hauntingly, that some of those fallen angels are still here, roaming, whispering, influencing. Right. Now, could this explain ancient megalithic structures, civilizations that rose and fell overnight, lost knowledge that built pyramids and ziggurats long before recorded history? Could the Nephilim, the half-angel hybrids, still exist in bloodlines today? Is this why royal families, secret societies, and elite bloodlines guard their heritage so closely? Because they know what runs through their veins. You see, the Book of Enoch doesn't just challenge religious beliefs, it threatens power structures. It implies that humanity was engineered, manipulated, and watched since its birth. That angels aren't just messengers, they're architects. Some benevolent, others monstrous. It reveals that what we call mythology may be nothing more than misunderstood memory. That Zeus, Thor, Anu, Osiris, these weren't just stories. They were interpretations of the same beings that Enoch knew by name. And when you realize this book was widely accepted for over 500 years, quoted by early church fathers, found among the Dead Sea Scrolls, and only later scrubbed from the canon, you begin to understand the depth of this suppression. And here's the final twist. The Book of Enoch ends not with death, but with ascension. Enoch doesn't die, he's taken, transformed. He becomes Metatron, a supreme angelic being who sits at the side of God, recording all human deeds. One man, chosen, elevated, immortalized. Does that sound like a fairy tale? Or does it sound like a blueprint? Because if one human could ascend to such power, what's stopping another? What if that's the secret hidden in this book? Not just warnings, but instructions. So maybe that's why the Book of Enoch was banned, not because it was false, but because it was too true, too dangerous, too awakening. And now, you know why they never wanted you to read it.